Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Portland Stew here with Rose City Sorcery, doing some commentating for a recent draft event we had at the FAB Foundry here in Portland, Oregon. You might be able to hear in the background the Harbinger player, Nate, cheering. Because on his last roll, he said, please three, and then rolled the 3. So he's got the dream spots for the Harbinger portals. And he's going against yours truly. That's me in the bottom there playing Savior. This is round 3 of the draft. So, yeah, pretty great setup for the Harbinger there. We're about a month into Gothic at this point, so I think we're all starting to get our feet a little on how to play the limited formats in Gothic, and this is an interesting showdown. I remember it well. The Harbinger, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure you do, but at the start of the game, before you do your mulligans or roll for who goes first, they select 3 random squares on the board that are their Harbinger portals, and once per turn they can cast a minion to any one of those 3 locations at a discount of 1 mana. So it's definitely a high roll, low roll avatar, and Nate got a good roll on that. It's got the forward position on his own side and the spot on top of my avatar. But Savior, I mean, generally speaking, I would say in this format, Harbinger is seen as the weakest of the sort of big 4 avatars, the 4 avatars that show up at exceptional rarity, so you're likely to get them. Those are Savior, Harbinger, Persecutor, and Necromancer. And Savior is a very strong avatar. We both are undefeated going into this round of the tournament, so let's get started. Portland Stew there, aka me, on the play, dropping a Valley, and probably passing turn if I had to guess. I don't really run 1-drops and limited if I can help it. With a few exceptions, obviously. But I don't recall having picked up any of the good 1-drops. And then Harbinger player plays the Forlorn Keep on turn 1, a slightly unconventional play, but I'm sure he needed the threshold. Forlorn Keep allows you, if you have 2 Earth thresholds when you play it, you can pay 3 mana to summon a 3-power Penitent Knight from your collection, which in limited, you can generate any named collection card that one of the cards in your deck references. You can effectively pull it from the ether. You don't have to have actually drafted it or opened it in your sealed pool to have access to it. So very good sight to have. But I expect Nate has some big plans here. Drops a Blessed Well on the front, facing off against my desert. And there it is, the turn 2 Order of the White Wing. A 3-power minion with ward that also prevents minions from being summoned nearby from locations that are not your hand. So you can't summon stuff from the graveyard or using special abilities like the Necromancer ability. That guy's on top of you, so I got a 3-power minion on my face. I'm dropping the Molten Mar, and I wonder if I'm planning to cast the Hellhound or not. Based on that location, I suspect I might not be. And yeah, the Savior player here has got a pretty serious threat on the front door. Maybe the plan is to drop the Hellhound there to try and sort of keep it safe from the order. The order having ward could kill anything that's played there. Oh. Why I play the crawler, that is a mystery to me. Maybe I didn't notice that that was the site that allows summoning a hellhound. That'd be funny. So we go over to the Harbinger. Swings for 3 at the site. Taps to presumably play a site. Yeah, drops a stream. So now we can see the Harbinger appears to be, that's Nate, is in water and earth. And the Savior, Portland Stew, rocking the fire earth. Which those two elements seem to be where I end up with Savior quite often. And the Monks of Kilbasa, right on turn 3, played at a discount on top of the Avatar. That's a 4-power minion for 4 that can't be modified except by ward. Savior taps, plays a Valley and Player, a great card for popping that ward, and a 3-power minion. So now the Savior is set up to maybe be able to do some blocking. Still looks like they'll have to trade on a deficit if they do trade. So we'll see what's next. And now thinking back to it, the reason the Savior player I did not play the Hellhound off of that site is because of the Order of the White Wing stopping my ability to summon things from the collection. Which is, the utility, all of those orders cycle cards. There's 3 orders, 1 in fire, 1 in earth, 1 in air, and 1 in water, each with very handy abilities. 3-power minions for 3. The earth and water ones come with a ward and a handy ability, and the air one just breaks all wards nearby, so also a pretty handy ability. The Harbinger's got a strong start, but Savior's starting to put up some defenses. And oh no, here comes a Gift of the Wolf on the Order, who's going to attack at the site. And so I'm debating whether to block here. If the Savior player blocks with the Flayer, I prevent the damage, but there's no way to do a good trade. So this is a tough boat. So Savior decides to take the damage. Monks swings for 4. I suspect Savior will have to take the damage again. His chumping into a 4-power is not any better than chumping into a 5-power. Oh, I guess just gonna block. Need to hold on to the life points. Oh, okay. So what we see happen here, I think this will get rolled back. Nate declares his attack against the Avatar, so I double block with I block keeping my Avatar in the fight to deal 4 damage. And then Nate's like, oh, I didn't realize. And it's like, I meant just to attack the site. And I said, okay, cool, that's fine. This is a casual event, and it would have been weird to not just attack the site. So I think letting Nate do the natural move there seems pretty reasonable. So let's see. Right now, Savior, Portland Stew on the back foot, 7 life left. Harbinger untouched, just piling on the minions. Oh, but we see a Gift of the Serpent using the Flayer to kill the Monks. Oh, draw a card first. And that's a promising move. The 3-power minions that Harbinger has on the board are a lot more manageable, theoretically speaking, than a 4-power minion like Monks, which really, in this set, there's quite a few 2- and 3-power minions, and far less 4 and 5 power minions, especially at the ordinary and exceptional level. So prioritizing dealing with those 4+ power threats is pretty important. Savior drops out a Wild Fanatic. That's a 2 power fire, single fire threshold charge minion, which I always draft pretty highly when I pick up a Savior because it's immortal, so you can ward it, but Savior not having the remaining mana to drop a ward on that just puts it down clearly as sort of an extra chump blocker. And you notice the Savior did not tap to draw a sight. And this is something that another player caught me with the leave your avatar untapped trick earlier in this event, because your avatar is a unit who can block as well. So now between the Wild Fanatic and the Savior, I have enough blocking power to kill the Order of the White Wing if it does choose to attack. So we see Penitent Knight coming in for an attack first, and the Crawler blocking to trade, and then double blocking with the Savior and Wild Fanatic when the Order attempts to attack the Savior. So Avatar takes 1 and the Wild Fanatic dies, and while the life totals look pretty dire for your hero, me, the Savior player, just kidding. Nate is an incredible guy, such a pillar of the community, a great player, and a very just generous member of the community. He traded me some key cards early on when I first started playing, and I'll always remember that. So he gets out 5 mana for turn, uses a discount to drop a Penitent Knight for 2, and then a Night Watchman for 3. So that's 6 power on the board for Nate the Harbinger. Still in a controlling position, but Stu the Savior trying to stabilize, and there's some potential here. I'm a little surprised that Nate didn't go for dropping them on top of the Avatar, but maybe Nate's kind of figured it's time to start playing back a little. That sort of initial aggression has paid off now, but dropping his minions sort of deep in enemy territory does have its risks. He won't have as much access to multiple blockers and whatnot, and playing his minions here, he's got defenders who can defend all of his exposed sites. And we can see right now Nate's sort of discussing the fine points of what he might have had an option to do. And I think he's sort of suggesting, he's asking if he could have cast his 2 different minions to different Harbinger portals and gotten a discount on each, which is not how the Harbinger works. So the Harbinger gives a single discount per turn at any of the portals, but it's only 1 total discount per turn. You can't get the discount on multiple different portals on the same turn. So yeah, no way to play both the minions and be able to pay the 1 to ward one of them using the I think it's called Chapel on the Hill or something site, Hillside Chapel. So I start the turn, draw a spell, and then tap for a sight. Definitely not out of the woods. I drop the Hellhound in the classic diagonal defensive position, and then I question it because these portals really change the dynamics, right? That diagonal defensive position usually is really good because the only attack vector they have is covered, but you're not lined up for an obvious hit from their minion in that diagonal placement. But in this situation now, the Hellhound wouldn't be able to defend against any aggression that comes through the portal on my back line. So, interesting placement debate. I don't know what the optimal play would be, but that's not a very impressive turn for Savior. Getting a single 3-power minion on the board to face off against the 2 3-power minions from the Harbinger. Man, if Savior were to have like a Flame Strike in hand, that would have been the dream scenario. Anything that could have taken advantage of the double stack that Nate did there. And Nate attacking in with the Penitent Knight, right down the middle. Yeah, Hellhound trades out. And then 3 from the Night Watchman. That's no mana spent yet. And Savior down to 3 life left. But pass turn there. So no cards played from Nate on the Harbinger's turn. And I think I caught a glimpse of a Ravenous Werewolf in my hand, which is a 3-power charge minion. Yeah, there it is. Trade out the Werewolf. And I think what I'm thinking at this point is Nate is in Earth and Water, which those 2 elements have no charge minions. So I think I might be able to stabilize here if I can just keep the board clear. Then maybe I'll be able to respond to any threat that Nate might play. I think my biggest fear right now, which is maybe a little unrealistic, is that he might have a Lord of Lies, which could have doored me the turn it was played if he had one. But that's an elite, so it's a pretty unlikely thing to have. And so there we go, Savior finally starting to get its value. Nate really piled on the aggression early this game, but Savior is no slouch as an avatar, and so I'm dropping a Eltham Townsfolk, which is a 2-power 1-cost Earth minion that's immortal, and a Wild Fanatic, which is a 2-power 2-cost Fire minion that's also immortal. So that's 3 mana spent, leaving me with enough mana to spare to ward both of these minions. I'm just debating where to place them. So 4-power warded against 3-power warded. That's not a bad boat to be in. Still terrified of the potential for a Lord of Lies, or now the imp. There's the water imp that can force 2 adjacent enemies to fight. The instigator imp can make 2 enemy minions at a nearby location fight. And oh my gosh, there it is. The freaking Lord of Lies. But I am a firm believer that, like, I would put Lord of Lies as the probably my highest pick card in the set, maybe. I think it's definitely the strongest 6-drop, and aside from maybe Necromancer, Savior, and Persecutor, it would be my number 1 pack 1, pick 1 card. Just so much utility. We see there the Lord of Lies drops, uses its ability. So Lord of Lies has the ability to, once per turn, force 2 target nearby units, so avatars, minions, whatever they want, to fight each other. And you see there, I just used my avatar to launch a Holy Water. Oh no, okay, so I decided to use my Eltham Townsfolk instead to play, and then tap to throw a Holy Water, which allows me to banish the Lord of Lies. So a minor misplay here, just to think back a little, the turn that the Lord of Lies was played, Nate had the option to just make the Lord of Lies. The Lord of Lies can choose itself as one of the 2 units, and so it could have chosen itself in my avatar and doored me last turn. But Nate maybe is choosing to play the long game here and wanted to sort of keep the board state more favorable by clearing out my wards. Because he targeted my 2 minions, it just broke their wards and they didn't actually fight each other. So, I'm at 3 life, but I'm feeling like I just survived my greatest fear, which is the Lord of Lies. And, I'm ready for a comeback. I just dropped a Search Party, a 3-power Earth minion for 3 mana that is immortal, so I was able to ward it for an additional 1 and still was able to launch that holy water to banish the greatest menace of Gothic. I just can't talk about Lord of Lies enough. I think it's such an incredible card. It's definitely one of the, I think Lord of Lies and the Thin Ice Nixie combo are 2 of the primary reasons that water is quickly emerging as the strongest element in Constructed. Yeah, Lord of Lies is an elite, so it shouldn't be that common to see it in Limited, but I swear every draft I've done, someone has got Lord of Lies. I don't know why that is. Like, I think the Gothic gods have chosen Portland as the dedicants of the Lord of Lies cult, perhaps. I don't know, but I see it show up a lot, and it really has so much flexibility for dealing death blows, for 2-for-1ing. It almost always gets to kill something the turn you play it, so it's a removal and a 6-power body, and then it's recursive removal that you get to use every turn. You get into crazy turns where you can attack for 12 if you get your Lord of Lies to where the avatar is, where you swing for 6 and then force their avatar to fight your Lord of Lies for another 6. Really incredible card. And so now we're on Nate's turn. Nate is debating how to handle this the ride of the last ride of the Rohirrim, riding out with the Savior avatar as their Gandalf at first light on the 3rd day. The real Helm's Deep scenario here for me against this Harbinger who's beating down the walls, and then, oh my goodness, what is this? So Nate drops a Putrid Presence in what we call the 3-8, the site number 12, so sort of far away from everything, which seems very strange to me. It's a 1-power overcosted minion. That's one benefit, is that it allows things to attack. So its ability grants your minions the ability to attack the underside of sites. Really incredible ability. He plays that off in the distant corner. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he pays 3, which actually, that might have been an illegal play now that I look at it. To cast Swap. Oh no, Putrid Presence is a 4-cost minion. I thought he was 5. So Putrid Presence is 4, and then he pays 3 to cast Swap, switching his Putrid Presence and the Order of the Sacred Oak. The other incredible. He got both of the orders and his elements. Really an awesome setup. Switching it into a position where I had no blockers, and then I was able to attack him for 3 and door me. Then on my turn, I step up with the Search Party and cast a Smite, allowing the Search Party to strike the Order of the Sacred Oak, dealing 3 damage and clearing that off. So, Savior's at death's door now, but the board, Harbinger's board, is empty of threats, and I've got a 2-power minion on top of my avatar and the Search Party out. And so, yeah, as the savior player, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble if there's, anything that can, you know, Nate just needs a death blow to kill me off. So I'm strongly playing around the fear of like an ice shards, which would, shoot projectiles. So I'm trying to keep minions between my avatar and the Harbinger. And I play out another site. And I think, in my mind, I feel like with blockers around, I mean, no matter what, I lose to a minion plus smite, which is a real possibility in the Harbinger's deck. But I play out my Wasteland to the far corner, hoping maybe I'll be able to run away over to that corner later to try and stay even safer. And then I drop a zombie horde lined up with this pig. Not so much because I want to attack the pig, as because that stream is the only site on the Harbinger's front line which is not warded. So really great use of wards. I've been so impressed with Nate's use of the wards. And then he steps back with the pigs, and I begin salivating, thinking, ha ha ha, you have an undefended site now. I can start trying to push some damage, and if I can push enough damage fast enough, maybe I can come back and take this game. It ain't over till the death blow is dealt, after all. So I'm very excited to attack with that zombie bruise, or that zombie horde. And Nate is debating if there's anything else that he wants to attempt on his turn. Looks like he's going to play out another site. Plenty of mana and a discount, so you can hear me and Nate discussing. I'm sort of saying, oh, I can't believe I'm still alive, and Nate's like, yeah, just not getting the cards I need to finish this out. So I'm starting to get a little hopeful. I think Savior's got a shot here. It's still definitely Harbinger has Savior on death's door, but I've got all the board presence, so I swing in for 5 with the zombie horde on the stream that is now undefended because those pigs are gone. Swing up with the search party to break the ward, and then I think I'll be willing to bet. Oh, I drop a Martyrs of Tomorrow, 2-power minion that costs 3, and then another Martyrs of Tomorrow, another 2-power minion that costs 3. They're mortals, so I'm able to ward one of them. And when a Martyr of Tomorrow dies, its death right is that it can ward another allied minion. So, yeah, Martyr of Tomorrow, not my highest pick usually, but once I pull a Savior and start aiming for the non-evil minions, I tend to start picking them more, because they can definitely synergize well in a Savior / non-evil deck. So I'm feeling pretty good. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 power on board, I think, and then all of a sudden the Muddy Pigs, Trial by Water, my zombie horde that I charged in with, and there goes my big threat. I fell right into Nate's trap. Really well played there, sort of luring me onto the water site where I could be removed. There were no other water sites on the front line. But, and then he top decks the Frozen Horror, and I think the writing's on the wall here. Frozen Horror is a stealth minion, and you can't block a minion with stealth, so unless I can get my avatar 2 steps away, there's no way to stop the Frozen Horror from killing me. So I scooped the board and took a good game. And man, what a cool game! I have to say, that was a loss that I really enjoyed. It was just so cool to see Harbinger really pop off. And yeah, Nate and I, after the game, were discussing it. I think it was saying how that was his biggest high roll as the Harbinger. He hadn't had that much luck on any of the other games. Yeah. Yeah, so then at this point we're just debriefing the game, talking about how Nate's sort of saying that that was the one card in his deck that could have ended the game for him, and he top decked it. So yeah, high roll from setup to finisher, but it's limited. These are small decks, and you build them the way you build them with intention. So as much as there's some luck involved, it's also just great deck building and really good drafting on the part of Nate. It was just such a fun game to play. So cool to battle it out, and I'm glad to see Harbinger take down Savior. At times I feel like when you get Savior or Necromancer or Persecutor, if you build it and play it sort of in the ideal way, that it feels a little broken strong. And so I'm glad to see Savior knocked down a peg here, and just really good game, great event. Big thank you to Kevin, the tournament director at FAB Foundry. And yeah, so much appreciation to all the players. Our scene here in Portland is just so incredible. Like, we were all laughing and chatting and having a great time the whole way. Even as I'm being crushed by the Harbinger, just laughing and smiling the whole time, and that's true of everyone else. Like, everyone wins and loses with such joy. Yeah, and there was so much trading happening at this event too. We're all early in our Gothic collecting, so it was really cool. Swapped a bunch of cards around folks, and yeah, so great game. Thank you to Rose City Sorcery for inviting me to cast it.